Hi, it's Katie. How is everybody today? I know it's Sunday and I woke up today and I just had the strongest impression to share this. So I don't really know why, but I'm just going to go with it. Listen to that feeling. So I know that one of my purposes on earth since I came back from my out of body experience is to help others see the purpose, like all their guardian angels around them and the purpose for them. So the people who are on the other side, there are so many and they're always here to help us. And so I want you guys to start just seeing the little things. So I'm going to share a couple stories so that you can see it's not these like huge extravagant things that you're looking for. It's very plain and simple. So the first one I was going to share was a couple weeks ago I was looking for a freezer, a deep freezer. And I had prayed and asked Heavenly Father to help me find one and to send guardian angels to help me find one. And sure enough, within a couple of days, one had popped up and it was in Idaho Falls. Idaho Falls. I think that's where my sister lives because it's not Pocatello. And I reached out to the lady and it was like anytime these freezers would pop up, they would go in seconds, like so fast. And so I had messaged the lady and I was like, hey, do you still have the freezer? And she said, yeah. And so, but she's like, everybody's lighting up my phone. Let me know if you want it right away. And so I was like, okay. So I called my sister, Christy, who happened to be coming down the exact next day to Salt Lake City. And so I told the lady, yeah, I want it. And I Venmo'd her and my sister went and got it. And then she had just gotten a truck the day before. And it's stuff like that. It's like I asked, I opened up the energy for it to receive it. And obviously I paid for it. And then my sister brought it to me. Like it was literally like bam, bam, bam. And okay, so here's another one. Oh, and what's the chance that my sister happened to be coming down right then too? Like, so it was just kind of cool. Okay, so another one. Let me think of which one I was going to share. For some reason I forgot. Oh yeah, the other day I was working out and I've been starting this workout following this lady and she like shows the workouts and I like stuff that's visual. And so anyways, I was doing the full body workout in the basement and it got like towards the end and it was like six exercises, but 4 reps of them. And I had gotten to the 4th one and towards the end, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm done. Like I was just done. And all of a sudden I saw my sister or my best friend from junior high's sister, Jennifer, in my mind's eye. And it was like super strong. Your mind's eye is like your intuition, and some people see. So it's kind of hard to explain if you don't know what it is, but it's kind of what I do in sessions where I'll just like see different things people need to heal or to move, and then I follow that. And I help clear that and ask God to clear that. And so through my mind's eye, I saw her face. So I didn't see it through my eyes. I saw it like right here, this chakra. I will sometimes see things, and it was just so strong. She was present, and I saw her face, and then I felt her energy, and it was just like this overwhelming feeling. And she totally was athletic. Like she was not a chatter at all. Like Box, she didn't talk very much, but she literally came here with the gift of helping people get physically active and to stay physically active. In fact, when she was at the elementary school, she created like a jump rope club. And before school, the kids would go and do this jump rope club and get their energy out. And so like, that's just one of her purposes on earth. And she, like 2 years ago, she was like laying down on the couch. She took a nap and she never woke back up. And so anyways, I wasn't really that close to her either. She did live in my neighborhood and stuff, but like I was best friends with her sister in junior high, but not like I didn't see a lot of her. But in that moment, she showed up to push me to finish. And it was so clear and strong. And like So then all of a sudden I had the energy to finish it instead of just give up, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I just have like 3 more sets of this. Can I just be done? And then I literally felt her so strong, and I saw her in my mind's eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, she came. So, and I knew exactly what was happening, and I need to actually reach out to her sister to tell her this, because that was part of, she also wanted to let her sister know that she loved her and was in her life. So and I just had the overwhelming knowing. It's just like an overwhelming feeling that I get, and then I just understand that. So okay, another one, just the other day, and I'm telling you these so that you recognize when it happens to you in your life. It's very simple. In fact, just this morning I woke up and I just had this like calm, peaceful feeling, and I was reading this book, and then I got like this overwhelming feeling of these memories to share of how guardian angels have helped me, and an overwhelming feeling like this is part of your purpose, is to help others see it, Katie. You experience the other side. You went to the other side. You understand how they're around you at all the times, and how you can call upon and ask them for help. And now it's your purpose to help others see this and how it shows up for them. And so I was like, okay. And so that's why I'm sharing this message today. But my grandma was with me today, and I just felt like this overwhelming feeling, and I saw her face in my mind's eye too. And I just, my grandma used to say, I thought my kids were special, and then I had grandkids, and I thought they were special until I had great grandkids, and oh boy, are they so special. And so anyways, I always hear that voice in my head, and so it's just kind of cool. So she is wanting me today to help others understand that there's guardian angels in their life and how they show up for them, and how it's literally like you'll be driving down the street and you just get an overwhelming feeling that they're with you. That's them. It's that. So, okay, here's another one. I was at, so I do soul purpose sessions and healing sessions out of my house or over the phone. And I had basically got enough money to get my boys these dirt bikes. They're like mini dirt bikes, and I got Kason one and I got Kyler one, but really they're for the family, because if we say they're theirs, then they'll sit and fight, and then it will be so annoying. And so we didn't say they're theirs. They're just the family's, so that they can't be like, you can't ride this, you know, kids. So anyways, they were sold out all over the country, like everywhere. And I was like, please, Heavenly Father, can you please help us find one? The kids in the neighborhood are riding them, and like the kids are just out behind us. There's like a family by us whose kids are riding them, and my kids like are on theirs, and I just don't want my kids like on other people's bikes like that. And then I want to create the rules for my kids too, and that they have to wear helmets. And anyway, so let me show you my backyard. This is, so we have like mountains behind us. I don't know if you can even see. So they basically ride like all throughout here. Anyways, so in the dirt and stuff. So I like researched, and apparently since this COVID thing, everybody's sold out. Like they're literally gone everywhere. And so that morning I just like prayed, and I had been searching for like days, and I wanted thicker wheeled ones so they were safer, and so I'd found some, but they were gone. Like they were literally gone in every store. And so I'm like, okay, so I just like prayed, Heavenly Father, can you help us find these, and that we can just find them, and then they can get here and everything will work out great. And can you help me find them? And so they were literally, I called like every store in Utah who sold them, or even online, and they were gone. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ask you to help and call upon you, and then trust that you're going to help me. And all of a sudden I had this feeling like, check Facebook, you know how they sell stuff on it, Marketplace. And there was a guy who was selling one, and he had like a store, like a mini little store up in Layton, and he was selling it for $7.99. And so I was like, oh my gosh, it was more than like I wanted to spend, because the other ones were like $600, but it ended up having back shocks and front shocks and like better stuff. And so it literally, like, I just got this impression and I followed it, and then it was right there. And he put on the post, these are sold out across the nation. And so if you want it, this is the last one. And it really was the last one. Like, I went to his place and it was the last one. And so we were able to get it. And like, I just asked for help. Like, I understood that they were sold out because I'd called, like, oh my gosh, every single store that sold them. They're like, yeah, we don't have any more. They're gone. Like, these have never sold out like this. They've never been so popular, and they're gone. But it was because I asked for help. Okay, so then they get here, and there's a dirt bike place across the street where we live. And I'm totally like in my pajamas in my bathroom, no makeup. So you guys, I sometimes do lives like this to help myself realize I don't have to be so perfect all the time and always be done up, because this is real life. This is how real life is. So I just, when I get the inspiration, my mind's like, Katie, get ready at least. And I'm like, no, this is like real life. This is how real life is. And I'm going to show up how it really is. So anyways, so, so we get the bikes. My husband and I go pick up the one, and everything works out. And then the other one comes in the mail like a week later. And so my boys are like so excited, and they wanted to go across the street to Samaria's, like, trying to think of what it's called. It's like a whole dirt bike area. And so they wanted to go across the street, and so I brought them there, but my husband happened to be on shift. And so I was just kind of like anxious, like, mostly because this is like something my husband does with them more, and I'll do it with them, but like, it was the first time we'd gone across the street, so I was just out of my comfort zone with the whole thing. And like, my boys had kind of like ridden off, and I couldn't see where they were, and it was making me anxious. And the trails are like just kind of straight, and then they curve a little bit, but then they have to turn around and come back. And so I just couldn't see them in my view. And it being like the first time, I didn't get to like tell them, hey, by the way, keep me in your sight, before they had taken off. And so I just assumed they would, and I didn't like tell them that. So I was just like standing there anxious, and just hoping that they would like turn around. And there was nobody even there, like hardly at all. Our neighbors had come to ride too, but that was it. And then all of a sudden I saw a white butterfly, and I had this overwhelming feeling that my grandma was with me and that everything was okay. And she just shows up in white butterflies. And no, she's not reincarnated. And no, I don't believe that. But some people think that. She just gives me a sign. And my grandma's sign is white butterflies. It always has been. Even on her funeral day, she sent me white butterflies. And the whole drive home, this white butterfly flew next to my car from the gravesite to the luncheon. And every stop, because you know how you drive slow, it just followed next to my door. It was so cool. Anyways, so whenever my grandma wants me to know she's present, she shows me a white butterfly. And so anyways, it was really comforting, and it comes with a feeling. So I just want you guys to know, they're not like, sometimes these spiritual experiences, they're very simple, and it's just like a knowing or a feeling. And for me, it comes to me as a knowing, and it's very strong, and it's just like this overwhelming understanding that they're there. Like when my sister's friend Jennifer showed up, or my old best friend's sister showed up to me, she was so physical, and just so, her energy was so like, whoa, she's in the room. But she was like, she's like more physical and a tough woman, and like gritty woman. I don't know how to explain it. She's just very like, let's go do this, and let's go work out, and let's get our body moving. And so it was just so neat that like in that moment she totally like came, and I finished. And it was just a neat experience to be like, okay, and like, she's not even related to me, and she showed up. Like, that's how present they are in our life. And so I just want you guys to understand, when you're struggling, just ask for help and just call upon them. Like, ask Heavenly Father, because there's order. Like, there's order in His work, and He is like the all-knowing God, but He has order. And so He sends in our ancestors. he sends in guardian angels and they come in and help. And so that's the way it is. So I know you guys might not have a third eye where you see things or experience it that same way, or maybe you do, and that's amazing because a lot of people do have that. But it could even just be like a light turned on, or like just a feeling, or a thought, like you think of them and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, they're in your mind. That's them showing you they're here. So anyways, I hope that you guys, I know that one of the reasons why I had an out-of-body experience, one of the messages I bring back is that they're all around us, and they're around us all the time, and that they're here to help us. And so I want you to remember that so that you can see them and experience them. And I mean, can you imagine what that would be like for them to be on the other side and you to not understand what message they're trying to get through to you? Can you imagine? Like, so I feel like that's why this morning I just got inspired, like, share these stories, Katie. They happen to you all the time, but share them. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forget, like, so sometimes I have to be told, like, go share this. So I was like, okay. And so yeah, they're literally so present. Isn't the sign so cute? It says, sometimes your life is defined by a single moment. Let it be today. Go boldly into the direction of your dreams. I love that sign. I don't know why I just saw the sign. It was like, that is so, like, even in my own house, I put it up, but it's true. Like, so just remember, these are the little ways that they get through. And like, you can even communicate back or just be like, I totally felt you today. Like, thanks for showing up. And like, cause they just are, they're so present. I still remember the day I was standing in here. In fact, I was standing right here, about to jump into my shower right there. And, it was the day my aunt, like, we had visited my Aunt Lorraine that weekend, and she wasn't doing well at all. And we thought maybe she was going to pass away soon, but we didn't know, because sometimes people can hang on for a while, you know? And so I totally have like mascara on my face. So I was like standing there, and I had the most overwhelming feeling come to me. And it was my Aunt Lorraine. Like, it's interesting because we can be in our body, but still leave it and like still be connected to it. Like, her spirit literally visited me the day she was passing away. And I had the most overwhelming feeling standing right here in this room, that she was going to go, and today was the day. And that night she passed away. And, like, I just had this knowing, like, this is it. And, so, I hope that some of my stories aren't like making you feel inadequate with your stories, but I want you to see it's the simple things. It's a song. It's the memory. It's a baby looking up into the sky and pointing like, look. It's like, babies see them a lot because their veil is very, very, very thin. And so it's those things. So just keep that in mind, because they're around us all the time and they want to help us. So don't be afraid to call upon them. If something you're struggling with, say, I need help with this, and specifically ask for it so they can show up for it. Like my freezer, I needed a freezer, and I needed like a specific size even. So I even asked for the size, and I needed it to show up because they're not in the stores. And every time they would go online, they would be sold in 5 seconds, and it would never be me, the one who saw it. And so I was like, okay, I need to ask. And it might take a week, or it might take a little bit, but just be patient for that to happen. And anyways, I hope you have a great Sunday, and make sure that you play music in your house so that it's calming and peaceful. Okay, love you all. Bye.